Good afternoon, everyone. Get your shoes on and let's go for a walk. Hi. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. I have had a lovely weekend. I had some great time with my best friends. Last night we left the teenagers at home all together to have their own dinner, and then myself and my two friends, we went and we went and had ramen. Oh, it was so good. But first, because there was a little bit of a wait, we went and went into like a craft warehouse, and it was so nice just to go through a craft warehouse and not have kids being like, can we go yet? Can we go yet? Are you done yet? Can we go yet? So that was sweet. And then we went and had ramen. We all had the shiitake mushroom ramen. I think it was a tonkatsu. Oh my God. It was so good. So good. And then we went into Powell's Books and just, you know, explored at our own pace, enjoying each other's company. And then we went and had dessert, and we got these amazing cinnamon rolls. And then we went back and we just chatted. We just chatted. We went down a rabbit hole of looking at campers. We were daydreaming about if we had campers, what would it be? And, you know, stuff like that. And ended up staying up until like 11 o'clock at their place, just looking at stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was very refreshing. I needed that evening with my friends. Jared was supposed to join us, but he came down with a cold. So he stayed home and had some quiet rest time, which I think he really needed, because he was asleep before we got home, which is probably about 11:15-ish. And he was still asleep at like 11 o'clock. So this morning, sorry, I got a little burp there. So he slept for like a good more than 12 hours. So I think he really needed it. So yeah. And today, I had a nice quiet morning, and I'm so happy. It was really raining hard last night, and the sun has peeked out for a little while. So I've decided to go on a walk and get a little fresh air. It's supposed to be rainy. It feels colder today. Not Arctic air cold yet. That's supposed to be coming later. I haven't checked the forecast in the last couple days to see if like there's confidence in the weather changing, or if it's kind of starting to be like, it's probably gonna be nothing. So we'll see. I'm just glad it's now later on in the week, because it's difficult to have to cancel on my clients and reschedule, because I can be really booked out, and so it's getting harder and harder to like find makeup times. So if it can hold off until the end of the week, that would be great, and take one less stressor off. But I'm just not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna focusing. I mean, I'm gonna be prepared. I have to look forward a little bit, right, to be prepared for it, but it's not worth the effort. It's always okay. So, and even if it does happen, figure it out. We'll figure it out. So Jared and I have been talking about trying to be more healthy in this new year, but recognizing where we are, at least myself, emotionally, and my capabilities right now. I definitely have a kind of a fine line of what I'm able to do, but I know that boundary. So we've been kind of talking about, okay, what are the habits that we do that kind of contribute to, overeating, not being aware of what we're eating, right? I don't quite have the time just yet to always be cooking again. I'm not really prepared for that. But there are habits that we have gotten into that would be a good place to start as far as trying to feel better. And so we've been kind of talking about it and trying to work on one habit at a time. So that way it doesn't feel too overwhelming and it feels accomplishable. And I just had a great visit with my doctor on Friday. My blood pressure was phenomenal. And we're very happy about all my anxiety and that the regimen I'm on is really working for me. And we're definitely talking about trying to find a trauma therapist to move to, and he agreed that I probably do have PTSD from events throughout my life. And now that, you know, Sarah's not here to kind of feel like I have backup to deal with that stuff, it's really triggering. It can be very triggering. And it's very tricky to catch it. I'm not going into full-blown panic attacks, but like the other night, definitely, I don't remember what started it, but I was stuck in the past in my brain and didn't even realize it. And then I realized, at first, I ended up realizing it, but holding my breath, not realizing it, really in my head, reliving. And also, like imagining how the situation could have been worse almost, right? Like, so then that was making me even more like fast breath, hold my, you know. So it's definitely something else is there, not just the anxiety. There's some rewiring of my brain that I feel like I might have to try to train so that I'm not it's not so quick to lock me into those moments. But the amazing part is that I'm starting to recognize it. Like I'm so happy that that's finally happening for me. Or I am very quick now, getting a lot better about if I'm feeling stressed or I'm starting to do something and I feel antsy, I have the mental capacity now and the space in my head to be like, oh, my body is doing this. Take a deep breath. I can control this. I am the one in control. And kind of take a step and be like, okay, I don't have to hold my body so tight. Let's just breathe. There's no, like, a lot of self-talk, a lot of positive self-talk. There's no deadline. There's nothing scary about this. It's just a task that you have to complete. It's okay. And then I can kind of retry and step back in a calm way. So the fact that I'm really happy that even though it is still kind of happening, I'm starting to have the ability to like cut it off at the pass and recognize it. And I have space in my head to recognize it. So yeah, my doctor and I are just really happy so far. And there's a lot of work to do still. There's a lot. I mean, I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what's going on for me. But for now, it feels good. One of the things we're gonna work on as far as like feeling better and healthier habits is not eating in bed. That's number one. We're not gonna eat anymore in the evenings because what happens is we start munching and then we're watching something and then we forget that we've already had something and then we munch some more and it just spirals into this continuous like, and then you have something sweet, which makes you want something salty, which makes you want something sweet. So instead of focusing on what not to eat, we're just focusing on the one thing the habit itself, which is eating in bed. So that's a big one that we're working on right now. Also, if we've got like a big portion in front of us, like Jared brings home takeout or something, where like we have like a big old container, I'm trying to take half of it and put it on a plate, so that I'm not continually eating and eating and eating. I save half of it for another time, and trying to be really conscious of like, with every bite, am I satisfied? Am I not satisfied? And if I'm really taking the time to like concentrate on that, which means really turning off the TV if we happen to be in the living room doing like a movie night or something, we need to eat at the table, right? So it's one of those, also trying to turn it into, instead of what not to do, it's what we need to do. So really it's, we need to eat at the table when we're having a meal. And I don't want to cut out all treats but we do need to find a system where we realize, okay, we've already had our treat for the day, right? That a majority of the food should be food that does something for our bodies, and think of it more of as a percentage of the amount of food, and not a like off limits kind of a thing. I think that's helpful, right? Oh, it's so pretty. It's kind of getting to like golden hour, starting to. And I'm looking at this field and there's these little birds that are that late afternoon sun. And the birds are like swooping and diving. And if it wasn't for the cars passing, it'd be super peaceful. Yeah. And the other thing my doctor and I talked about, because I was telling him about the whole weight gain thing that we've talked about in the past, and he basically was like, even if you were eating the right portion sizes, with how fight or flight and for so long your system has been in, you're basically like fighting a losing battle. Like, you are, when you're in that kind of a state, your body's taking even lean muscle tissue and converting it into what it needs. It raises your blood sugar, raises your cortisol, which raises your, I don't remember which one comes first, but your cortisol levels are up, and pretty much anything you put in your mouth is going to turn into stored energy. So he's like, you really wouldn't have seen a whole lot of weight loss for you and I'm not talking about everyone, but for me personally, with talking it through with my doctor, he was like, it's not, and the scale clearly reflected all of the things that were going on, but he was like, I am not worried about it at all. You're starting to describe that you're having motivation again, that you want to get up and move your body, and that you're starting to think like it will come. He was like, it will come, but it will come in time. So don't beat yourself up, but making these small changes that are more of what you need to do. Like, he really liked the idea of how we were going to start, instead of focusing on like exactly what we're putting in our mouth, focus on the bigger habits. So that way we don't feel like we're cutting things out per se, or I can't have any of this, or I can't have any of that, because that's not really reality. And you need to enjoy. Food should taste great, but I don't want it to control me, right? I want to get to a place where I have self-control and I can say, no, I don't need that right now. I already had that thing yesterday. Today I'm gonna have an orange, or whatever. This meal that I'm gonna have is gonna be filled with things that are gonna fuel my body and not be empty. So thinking of it that way too, right? So that's where we're starting, and trying to move every day, I'm switching between walks and, oh, that sun feels really, really good. It's very, very light, but I do feel a touch of heat. Us Oregonians can't really get any vitamin D from like October to April, basically. So vitamin D is a must, but that feels, I wish it was a little stronger, but it feels really good. What was I saying? I don't, moving, oh yeah. Walking every day. And, well, switching between walking, rowing, because that's really good for posture and, you know, muscle strength. And it's really helpful for my job because it's the opposite position of what I'm in when I'm working. And then, doing, Supernatural. I just love Supernatural. It's so fun. We get lucky enough to be able to have a VR headset. It's a workout within VR, and it's so much fun. You don't really, if you get a really good playlist going, you don't really feel like you're working out at all. So, oh my gosh, it's so pretty today. It's glorious. So yeah, trying to kind of go between all those three things. And then every night I'm starting to get into a routine every night. So I want to build in to the routine a little bit of yoga, bedtime yoga. And then I like to do Sudoku because it turns my brain off and it makes me think about other things besides, if I'm trying to think out the numbers, I can't think of all the other thoughts in my head. So that's usually how I end the evening. And I journal a lot. Haven't done it as much lately, but I've just about filled 2 journals this year. I just picked up a 3rd one to start up soon. It feels like a really good start. It's going to be a good start to the year, and we have our plans finalized for going to Texas. So that's something to look forward to in February. Ah, a cute puppy. And let's see. Dakota's eye. Dakota's eye is frustrating. Try not to worry about it. It's not any worse, but it's not any better. But today, I've noticed her blinking it a lot more. She even pawed at it. Every once in a while I'll go pet her and she'll like close her eye, which is telling me it's bothering her. And I've noticed when I put the cream in, that's when she kind of starts doing it. And I was hoping that it was just irritated from like whatever chemicals are in the cream. And it had been like seeming like it would go away after a little bit. Today, it's just being persistent. So I actually ended up giving her some pain meds. And I will communicate with the vet tomorrow about what we want to do. If we need to, even though it's not necessarily looking any worse, it's not looking any better. And if she's starting to show physical symptoms of pain, then that might be enough to be like, oh, we have to go back in again. So I'm definitely trying not to worry about it, but it's hard because she's my fur baby, my sweet, sweet fur baby, a little Junko. Everybody's out today trying to get a walk in. Oh, that's pretty. My little hair thing is coming out. Okay. Well, I'm almost there, you guys. Another 20-minute walk. Feels good. And I've got the oven heating. I am cooking today. Got to start early because it takes a while. I'm going to make a chicken sausage. I wanted to make a chicken sausage gumbo, but then I realized I used all of my gumbo filet, so I can't do that. but I'll just do it as a stew instead. And I think I'm gonna try a couple things different. Instead of cooking the chicken in the pot, I'm gonna put it in the air fryer separately to try and get a really good browning on it, and then throw it in and pour all the juices and stuff in. And I've got some chicken stock that I made that's been in the freezer. I'm gonna use a chicken stock. That's homemade chicken stock. And I gotta get the roux going. I like to do it in the oven, in a cast iron skillet. So that takes about 90 minutes, but I don't have to like sit there continuously stirring and stirring. So hopefully it'll turn out good. And I was thinking about, I've got a bunch of potatoes, about doing a potato salad. Normally we boil them, but once again, I'm thinking, I wonder what it would be like if I put them in the air fryer and got them really nice and like good coloring on them, and then just smashed like half of them up a little bit to make it like creamy when you mix in all the other stuff. I want to try it. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. We use our air fryer a lot. It's just so handy. It's so helpful. I do a lot of vegetable sides in it. I toss it with avocado oil and a little salt and pepper, and the food tastes amazing. That little convection oven is a game changer. Well, I am back home. I hope you guys have a great start to your week. I am looking forward to seeing my clients again. It's been a wonderful break. I really needed it. Needed to let my neck kind of heal a little, and my mind and my body, and just really let myself rest. I didn't really get anything done, but that's okay. I'm totally happy with that. I didn't get anything done in the house, but I feel like for me, myself, I got a lot accomplished. Checking in, having a lot of good realizations. Able to have space to flip some circumstances that have happened and are challenges that are coming at us, instead of being upset about it, or, you know, I've been able to flip it and see the positive and the amazing opportunity, and I feel excitement about the situation, the couple of situations now that we've been presented with, and able to turn what felt like, oh my God, like the start of another hard year, into, okay, this could be really cool, right? So that takes a lot of work, and sometimes you need space to do it. So you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.